If you choose to accept this quest, you will achieve financial freedom within the next 3 months. This quest is based on the Synthesizer Roadmap by Andrew Kirby, who is the community lead on School, as well as Aiden, who is the host of the Synthesizer. Most educators struggle to monetize their knowledge and make a living doing the thing that they love the most. I was one of them, and for years I struggled with this exact problem. And if you relate to that, know that the problem isn't with you or with me, it is the following of an incomplete roadmap. Because as soon as I started following the synthesizer roadmap, like 3 weeks afterwards, I got my first high ticket client. I'm not the only one, because Lonely landed her first case study with that, and Olga made 5K in just 3 months. Prince scaled past 10K, and recently Matthew resigned from his six-figure banking job to pursue the synthesizer roadmap. If you're an educator, then you can get started right now. You don't need any programming skills or run advertisements or have a huge audience. The only thing that you have to do is to take action. That is why I've gamified the whole roadmap. So taking action is as fun and easy as playing a game. And you will always see the progress and what you have to do and when you have to do that. You can duplicate the whole template by clicking this button and it will ask to just add it to your workspace. I've also added a few other quests so you can also level up your health and your relationships, and I'll continue to add to this. But we're just taking a look at the synthesizer roadmap today, so you know exactly what you have to do to achieve financial freedom as an educator. All right, let's have fun with this, make this a little bit bigger, and jump into the workspace. So it should look like this once you've duplicated, and I really encourage you to actually duplicate and follow along, because this will just increase your learning. And if you're not here to learn, like, why are you even watching the video? It's just a waste of time if you're not also taking action. So yeah, make sure to duplicate this and follow along. And then we have here the synthesizer roadmap, and I broke this down into the discovery phase, the networking, doing at least 3 case studies. If you really focus on getting 3 high quality killer testimonials out of these case studies, then you should be good to go and start thinking about getting your first client. You'll also see here these different flame emojis. So this indicates on how impactful or how much time these things tend to consume. So if it's 1 flame, I think it's more on the easy side. It only takes a week. 2 flames is up to a month, and then 3 flames is up to a quarter. I'm trying to avoid things that take longer than a whole quarter and then just break it down into quarters if it is a year-long project. And these are the action items that Andrew and Aiden have so clearly mapped out already. So this is really built on the work of them, and I just like to iterate on top of previous existing work. And I think we all tend to do this as educators. So as you see, when I complete this progress here goes up for the sub quest, and it also kind of like increases the general synthesizer roadmap quest. And this allows us to always see how far we have come roughly. And it just helps to always see this progress going up, and it's something to work towards too. Here we have something that I want to pull more attention to, because we have a actual time blocking thing that continues to repeat over and over again. So it's a little bit like a habit where we want to consume an hour of new quality content throughout the week. So something that I have done here is I created an automation, and you can click this by adding on this kind of like little flash thing here, and you can check out the automation. And every week on Sunday at 8 a.m. So it creates 5 different tasks that are all consume quality, and they set 1 hour time block at 8 a.m. for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday into the calendar. And they will all be in this um table here. They will all be under discover content, because this is what I set here in the automation. The quest is always discover content. So this is something that you can continue to do over and over, and you'll actually see all of these things time blocked in your calendar, so you can actually take action. I just added some rough date times, but as you can see, for the networking, I haven't done this because you'll probably want to fill out your own time. But just choosing a date may not be good enough, because there's so many things that we have to do throughout the day. And that is why I also like to add a time to this. So you can do this in here, but this is very tedious. So let me show you a hack that you can do in Notion. because when we go to the week here, we actually see the calendar view. As you can see, we have all of these things set out and we can like already check them off. But we can also open this up in calendar. So let me show you what this looks like. This is the same calendar, and here you see the time is not yet selected, but we can just move things back and forth and then also increase the time. So here we see who is the best source of knowledge for each of my 3 areas of interest. So we can say, hey, I want to do this at 9 a.m., for example. And then we can move the other things just below that and do it like this. Maybe you want to have like a bit of a break in between, but doing this actual time blocking makes such a big difference on actually taking action. Going back to Notion, you see that now the time here is added that we didn't have before. This calendar unifies all other calendars. We can just add them in here and have all of these different databases to our Google Calendar, to our Apple Calendar. It can all be inside the same calendar here. So we know what we have to do. We know what kind of meetings we have, but it's all in one place. I want to finish up by going a little bit deeper into the automations because we have a few other things here, for example, where we schedule 100 minutes of commenting and 100 minutes of building relationships in the DMs. And I just want to give you a quick hack so you can also start using more of these automations because you can just duplicate the thing that I have done like this and then go in here and change this to, for example, commenting. And then in here, you can maybe not connect it to discover content, but maybe you want to then connect this to networking. So now we just have to choose the time and the date. So this may look a little bit overwhelming, but is rather simple because we only need to change the numbers here. So how many days are we adding to that? If we add 1 day, it's going to become a Monday, 2 days for a Tuesday, and so forth. And then here, the hour, this third one is how long this aspect is taking. So if we want to do like 2 hours for networking, then now we have the commenting that happens on a weekly basis. And we just need to do this throughout the aspects here as well. If you have any questions to the roadmap specifically on how to take actions, if you feel like you're stuck somewhere, or even specifically on how to use the template, then I have some good news because I'm starting the 3rd season of my podcast, Level Up Education. And the first guest is actually Aiden, who is the host of the synthesizer. So we're going deep into the roadmap. We go deep into his backstory on how he got started working with Andrew. And you also get to ask him questions because we're streaming the whole thing live on Thursday, the 1st of May at 6 p.m. CET. It's the same time that the school news, but just 2 days later on the Thursday. And we get to dive deeper into the roadmap on his thought process while creating that with Andrew. So we don't have to reinvent the wheel, and we get to just enjoy the journey while playing this game.